Welcome to the Pit Check, your source for all of the best and heaviest new metal albums released each week. Metalcore, deathcore, hardcore, black metal, you name it. I try to dig through it all so that way I can find the most interesting and best releases that I can then recommend to you. And this week we've got a ton of amazing new albums, especially for deathcore lovers, so I'll try to keep things quick. So subscribe to the channel if you're not already, and let's get right into this week's heaviest new albums. Traitors are back with a new... Oh my god. The deathcore band Traitors are back with... Yo, you good? Okay. Good god. The disgustingly heavy deathcore band Traitors are back with this absolute ripper of a new album, this one titled Phobias. I love how bassy and nasty these guitar tones are. I also really dig all of the nu metal and rap elements, especially in the vocal deliveries. Even though they are a deathcore slash nu metal crossover, I love that you could hypothetically be on either side of these genres and still love this one. You could be into deathcore and not really love nu metal and still love this album. Same thing if you're super into nu metal but not really deathcore, although I guarantee this release would probably get you hooked on deathcore. This album is actually a successor to their EP Night Terrors, building on the same themes of coming face to face with your fears and your personal demons and confronting them head on. And as a follow-up release, the band states, "This collection of tracks amplifies the intensity. Each song grapples with the overwhelming weight of trauma, regret, and fractured identity, offering no resolution but instead laying bare the relentless mental battles within. It's an unfiltered expression of pain and the struggle to survive amidst chaos." So if you need a brutally heavy, wall-to-wall, breakdown-filled album, you cannot go wrong with this new Traitors album, Phobias. Ever heard of this super obscure band, Killswitch Engage? Obviously, Killswitch Engage are one of the biggest metalcore bands of all time, and arguably the ones that created the genre as a whole, and they've just released their newest album, This Consequence. It has been 6 years since their last album, and it's good to see that literally nothing has changed. Okay, so that's actually the big discussion point that everyone's been arguing about online. Nothing has changed. Killswitch Engage sounds like Killswitch Engage. So if you're looking for something else, you won't find it here. But is that even a bad thing? A lot of people really love Killswitch. And if you want more Killswitch, here it is. But I get it though, sometimes you want your favorite bands to mature and grow and change their sound. But honestly, I don't think that applies to a band like this. They are such iconic staples of this community, and their sound literally defined metalcore, and thousands of bands have built off the backs of that sound. So if Killswitch just came in sounding like a modern metalcore band, I don't know, I don't think it would hit right. So yeah, this album has everything you would possibly want from a Killswitch release. Old school metal guitar riffs, catchy choruses, classic chuggy breakdowns, some good harmonies, and some really clean drumming. This album sounds like a 2000s metalcore time capsule, and honestly, I'm here for it. It's good to see the legends back in action, and creating new material that can stand toe-to-toe with just about most of their entire discography. So again, this was Killswitch Engage with their newest album, This Consequence. Why does San Francisco have such a crazy hardcore scene? The Bay Area Hardcore Punk all-stars Spy are back with their newest EP, Seen Enough. This is a short and crazy aggressive EP that runs just under 10 minutes, and if you get a chance, please see this band live. They are insane. In what seems to be a response to people calling their last album too polished compared to their early EPs, this latest EP is actually recorded live on tape, bringing back a lot of the grit and grime and guitar feedback that was sort of missing on the last album. Ironically though, I still see people complaining that this is still too polished. But I like it. I think it's definitely a step in the right direction back into that gritty sound. The vocals are super raw and piercing, the guitar riffs are fun and obviously way more on the punk side of hardcore punk, and then obviously the vocals and drums are more on the hardcore side of hardcore punk. So if you want a new hardcore punk release that's simple and fun and aggressive, check out the new EP Seen Enough by Spy. Members from Pantera, Cattle Decap, Pig Destroyer, Misery Index, and more have come together to create this band, Scour. This is a, quote, extreme metal supergroup created by and fronted by the controversial Phil Anselmo of Pantera, and they're celebrating their 10th anniversary, which is pretty crazy for a supergroup, with this new album, Gold. I'm not personally the biggest fan of Phil, but his vocals are the best they've ever sounded here. Musically, this album is a really cool mix of black metal, death metal, a little bit of grindcore and thrash, or what they call ominously hued, punishing minimalism. It's kinda all over the place, but that's a good thing. I love this idea of death grind musicians making black metal. It results in these really cool and unexpected twists and turns, like a sweeping guitar solo or nasty gutturals just out of nowhere. This is a 13-song album running about 37 minutes, and it's being released by Nuclear Blast Records. So if you want a good new black metal / death metal hybrid, check out Gold by the extremely talented supergroup Scour. Do you like mixing melodic death metal in your metalcore? Horizon Ignited are an atmospheric, kind of ethereal, melodic death metal band that has been making huge waves lately. This one is definitely for Melodeath fans, but I think if you're a fan of those really spacey, guitar-driven metalcore bands like Invent Animate or Currents, I think this will be right up your alley as well. Horizon Ignited are a Finnish band, which is awesome to see them gaining so much traction here in the States, probably because the vast majority of their work is in English. Honestly, I think only the first song has a non-English chorus, so don't let any language barriers stop you from jumping into this one. This is their third studio album, titled Tides, and it runs 10 songs at about 41 minutes. This album has everything from more melancholy and somber doom metal flavors to more fun and angry power metal elements, all blended together under this nice death metal umbrella. So if you're looking for a good crossover melodeath / metalcore band, check out the new album Tides from Horizon Ignited. Alright, this band is complete chaos. If you want chaotic beatdown hardcore fused with death metal and thrash, you've gotta check out God Complex. This EP is relentless. I mean, the vocalist alone is putting on a clinic on this EP. He just seems to get better and better with each release. But that's not to say the rest of the band is slouching. The guitars are mathy and chaotic while still being technical and precise. The drummer is disgusting. And of course, that amazing high-cranked snare drum that makes all of us slam lovers lose their minds. Obviously, myself included. This new EP is titled He Watches in Silence, and the songwriting here is honestly incredible. It's crystal clear how much God Complex wants to push the boundaries further and further with each release. To which the band even stated, "It was important that we respect our previous body of work, but demonstrate that we're not content to just rest on our laurels and retread old ground." The title of the first song, Salt and Ash, evokes a terminus, the emptiness left behind when everything has been destroyed. So if you love beatdown, death metal, deathcore, or slam, I guarantee you'll be blown away by this new EP from God Complex titled He Watches in Silence. Real quick, I just wanted to say thank you again, everybody, for checking these videos out and joining me for these best of the week discussions. The comments you guys have been leaving me, both on here and on TikTok, have been really awesome. And I just want to say thanks. It really means a lot. Even if it's just to tell me I'm a poser and I suck in the comments, it's cool to see it connecting with people. But seriously, thanks for subscribing and tuning in, and let's get back to the show. Get your skinny jeans ready. Silverstein, the most consistent and reliable emo band to ever exist, are back with this new album, Antibloom. Being mainstays of the post-hardcore, emo, and metalcore scenes for, 25 years, they surprise me every time that they haven't run out of steam or creativity this entire time. This album sort of feels like a sample platter for everything that Silverstein is capable of as a band, with each song varying wildly in songwriting and feel, and flexing how much they can stray into different sounds without ever compromising their own. This is an interesting release in that they're calling it the first half of a double album, which makes the relatively short 22-minute runtime make a lot more sense, and I'm very curious to see how these songs will line up with the next release both thematically and sonically. Gravity that drags me down, don't let me get too low. Silverstein fans are going to be extremely happy with this one, giving them a smorgasbord of all of their favorite sounds and styles that Silverstein has jumped into over the past 2+ decades. And for new listeners, you'll probably have to ask a Silverstein fan which albums sound most like the songs that you like off of this one. But honestly, throw a dart at a Silverstein album, it's probably solid. It's awesome to see these guys still sounding fresh, still writing creative songs and lyrics, and releasing album after album after album with no signs of slowing down. As Jack5555 says on Reddit, bands come and go, genres come and go, but Silverstein is forever. Want some good old school hardcore? Mongrel are an awesome old school hardcore / death metal band, and they have a new EP titled Baptized in the Gutter. This is some super hard, throw a trash can through a store window type music. This 5-song EP blows by at just 13 minutes, but I think that's plenty of time to destroy whatever room you're currently standing in. This is a crazy simple but brutally heavy band. Lots of down-tempo and halftime riffs and breakdowns, super aggressive vocals, and constantly thrashing drums. People have been really excited about this one since it's the only thing they've released since their 3-song EP 3 years ago. So hopefully we won't have to wait another 3 years for like 5 more songs. But for real, this is a nasty new EP. So if you need some good beatdown hardcore in your life, you've got to check out Baptized in the Gutter by Mongrel. This one is for nerds who love deathcore. Ooh, like me. Dark Watch is an unbelievably talented band made up of Jacob Hansen from I Declare War and the wildly impressive vocalist Austin Dickey from For the Likes of You. This is some amazing technical deathcore with some symphonic deathcore and even proggy elements. But they also have this crazy ethereal, spacey vibe while still maintaining their heaviness. I think if you're a fan of Signs of the Swarm or Shadow of Intent or especially Enterprise Earth, you're gonna love this one. I also really dig their nerdy merch with everything from Magic the Gathering to Lord of the Rings imagery. My only real complaint here is that this EP is only 3 songs long. Although definitely check out their last EP too, it's awesome. This EP, titled The Mortal Codex Eulogy 1, seems to imply that this EP is part of a larger The Mortal Codex storyline, so presumably that means there's a lot more coming soon. Please. So if you need some incredible new deathcore, you have to check out Dark Watch. Do you like Blackened slamming deathcore? To Obey a Tyrant are an extremely impressive deathcore band that takes elements from symphonic deathcore to technical death metal to black metal, but unlike their contemporaries, they lean heavily into slam. Frigore Inferi is their first EP since their debut and very underappreciated album in 2022. And on this EP, they are just as creative and filthy as ever, if not more so. The guitar work and the riffs are amazing, the vocals rip my soul from my body, and the songwriting is so interesting and fresh. I was blown away by this one, and I think anyone who's into brutal death metal or symphonic deathcore, and even slam heads, will definitely appreciate this EP. So definitely check out To Obey a Tyrant with their EP, Frigore Inferni. And here's a list of all the albums that released this week that I didn't get a chance to go over. So if there's anything here that I didn't get to that was awesome, please let me know in the comments below so me and everyone in the comments below can check it out. And that's it for this week. Thank you guys again so much for joining me, and I'll catch you next week for another pit check.